In Buddhism, mental weakness is often seen as a significant barrier to achieving enlightenment and inner peace. The teachings of the Buddha emphasize the importance of cultivating a strong and resilient mind to navigate the challenges and to progress on the spiritual path. Mental weakness, in this context, refers to a state where the mind is easily disturbed, distracted, or overwhelmed by negative emotions and thoughts. It is characterized by a lack of clarity, focus, and emotional stability, which can hinder one's ability to make wise decisions and maintain a sense of inner calm. The concept of mental weakness is deeply intertwined with the three poisons identified in Buddhist teachings: attachment, aversion, and ignorance. These poisons are considered the root causes of suffering and mental instability. Attachment leads to clinging and craving, aversion manifests as anger and hatred, and ignorance clouds our understanding of reality. When these negative states dominate the mind, they create a fertile ground for mental weakness to flourish. Buddhism offers various practices and teachings aimed at overcoming mental weakness and developing mental strength. These include mindfulness meditation, ethical conduct, wisdom cultivation, and the practice of loving kindness and compassion. By diligently applying these principles in daily life, individuals can gradually transform their minds, reduce suffering, and achieve a state of mental resilience. Understanding mental weakness from a Buddhist perspective requires recognizing the impermanent and interdependent nature of all phenomena. It involves seeing through the illusions created by our own minds and breaking free from habitual patterns that perpetuate suffering. This journey towards mental strength is not an easy one. It demands consistent effort, self-reflection, and a willingness to confront one's own shortcomings. Ultimately, Buddhism teaches that true mental strength arises from a deep understanding of the nature of reality and the cultivation of positive mental states. It is about finding balance amidst life's ups and downs and maintaining equanimity in the face of adversity. By addressing the root causes of mental weakness and nurturing qualities such as mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, individuals can build a robust foundation for lasting inner peace and well-being. In Buddhism, mental weakness is often understood as a state of mind that lacks resilience, clarity, and stability. It is characterized by an inability to cope effectively with life's challenges and adversities. This fragility of the mind can manifest in various forms, such as anxiety, depression, indecisiveness, and a general sense of dissatisfaction. Mental weakness is not merely a lack of mental strength, but also an imbalance in one's emotional and cognitive faculties. It arises from deep-seated habits and patterns that cloud judgment and hinder personal growth. One of the fundamental causes of mental weakness in Buddhist teachings is the presence of the three poisons: ignorance, attachment, and aversion. These poisons distort our perception of reality and lead us to make choices that perpetuate suffering. Ignorance blinds us to the true nature of existence, causing us to cling to illusions and false beliefs. Attachment binds us to transient pleasures and material possessions, making us vulnerable to loss and disappointment. Aversion fuels negative emotions like anger and hatred, which further destabilize the mind. Another contributing factor to mental weakness is the lack of mindfulness. When we are not fully present in the moment, our minds become scattered and easily influenced by external circumstances. This lack of focus makes it difficult to maintain inner peace and equanimity. Additionally, mental weakness can be exacerbated by unhealthy lifestyle choices, such as poor diet, lack of exercise, and insufficient rest. These physical factors can significantly impact our mental well-being. Understanding mental weakness from a Buddhist perspective involves recognizing these underlying causes and addressing them through spiritual practice. By cultivating mindfulness, practicing detachment, and developing wisdom, we can gradually strengthen our minds and overcome the tendencies that lead to mental fragility. The journey towards mental strength is not an easy one, but with consistent effort and dedication, it is possible to achieve a state of inner resilience and clarity. In Buddhism, attachment is often seen as a fundamental cause of mental weakness. Attachment, or upana in Pali, refers to the clinging or grasping onto people, objects, ideas, or even experiences. This clinging creates a dependency that can lead to suffering and instability. When we become attached to something, we invest our sense of self and happiness into it. This makes us vulnerable because the nature of all things is impermanence. Everything is subject to change and decay. When the object of our attachment inevitably changes or disappears, we experience distress, anxiety, and a sense of loss. Attachment also clouds our judgment and distorts our perception of reality. It can lead us to make decisions based on fear of losing what we are attached to, rather than on wisdom and compassion. This can result in actions that are harmful to ourselves and others, further entrenching us in cycles of suffering. For instance, attachment to material possessions can lead to greed and selfishness, while attachment to relationships can foster jealousy and possessiveness. Moreover, attachment limits our ability to experience true freedom and peace. It binds us to a constant state of craving and aversion, where we are perpetually seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. This endless cycle keeps the mind agitated and restless, preventing us from achieving the calm and clarity necessary for mental strength. In contrast, when we practice non-attachment, we learn to appreciate things without becoming dependent on them for our happiness. This detachment allows us to remain balanced and resilient in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of recognizing and overcoming attachment as a path to mental liberation. By cultivating mindfulness and awareness, we can observe how attachment arises in our minds and learn to let go of it. Practices such as meditation help us develop the inner strength needed to face our attachments without being overwhelmed by them. Through this process, we gradually weaken the hold that attachment has on us, leading to greater mental stability and strength. In summary, attachment plays a significant role in mental weakness by creating dependency, distorting perception, limiting freedom, and perpetuating cycles of craving and aversion. By understanding the nature of attachment and practicing non-attachment through mindfulness and meditation, we can cultivate a stronger, more resilient mind capable of facing life's challenges with equanimity. In Buddhism, ignorance is considered one of the primary roots of suffering and mental weakness. Ignorance, or avidya in Sanskrit, refers to a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of reality. It is not merely a lack of knowledge, but a deep-seated misperception that clouds our understanding and distorts our view of the world. This ignorance manifests in various ways, such as the belief in a permanent, unchanging self, and the failure to see the interconnectedness of all things. When we are ignorant of these truths, we are more likely to develop attachments, cravings, and aversions that destabilize our mental state. Ignorance leads us to cling to transient phenomena as if they were permanent, causing us to experience disappointment and suffering when they inevitably change. This clinging creates a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that weakens our mental resilience. For example, when we are ignorant of the impermanent nature of material possessions, we may become overly attached to them. When these possessions are lost or damaged, our mental equilibrium is disturbed, leading to feelings of loss and despair. Moreover, ignorance prevents us from seeing the true nature of our thoughts and emotions. We often identify with our thoughts and feelings, believing them to be an intrinsic part of who we are. This identification can lead to a rigid sense of self that is easily threatened by external circumstances. When we fail to recognize that thoughts and emotions are fleeting and not inherently tied to our true nature, we become more susceptible to mental disturbances such as anxiety and depression. Ignorance also obstructs our ability to practice mindfulness and cultivate wisdom. Without a clear understanding of the nature of reality, our attempts at mindfulness may be superficial or misguided. True mindfulness requires an awareness that goes beyond surface-level observations. It involves seeing things as they truly are, free from the distortions imposed by ignorance. This deeper level of awareness is essential for developing mental strength and resilience. Furthermore, ignorance fosters negative emotions such as anger, hatred, and jealousy. When we do not understand the interconnectedness of all beings, we are more likely to see others as separate from ourselves and view them with suspicion or hostility. This divisive mindset weakens our mental fortitude by creating inner turmoil and conflict. By contrast, recognizing our shared humanity can foster compassion and empathy, which are crucial for maintaining mental stability. In summary, Ignorance undermines mental strength by distorting our perception of reality and fostering attachments, negative emotions, and a false sense of self. Overcoming ignorance through the cultivation of wisdom and mindfulness is essential for building a resilient mind capable of navigating life's challenges with equanimity and clarity. In Buddhism, craving, or tanha, is identified as one of the primary causes of suffering and mental instability. Craving manifests in various forms, such as the desire for sensory pleasures, the longing for existence or non-existence, and the attachment to material possessions and relationships. This incessant yearning creates a perpetual state of dissatisfaction and restlessness within the mind. When we crave something, we become fixated on obtaining it, often at the expense of our mental peace and well-being. This fixation can lead to anxiety, stress, and a sense of incompleteness, as we are constantly chasing after something that seems just out of reach. Craving disrupts our mental equilibrium by fostering a sense of dependency on external factors for our happiness. When our desires are unmet, we experience frustration, disappointment, and even despair. This emotional turbulence weakens our mental resilience and makes us more susceptible to negative emotions. Furthermore, the transient nature of worldly pleasures means that even when our cravings are temporarily satisfied, the satisfaction is short-lived. This leads to a vicious cycle where new cravings arise, perpetuating a state of chronic dissatisfaction. The Buddha taught that true mental stability comes from understanding the impermanent nature of all things and letting go of our attachments. By recognizing that craving is a source of suffering, we can begin to cultivate a sense of inner contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Mindfulness practices help us observe our cravings without becoming entangled in them, allowing us to respond with wisdom rather than impulsivity. Through meditation and ethical living, we can gradually diminish the power of craving over our minds and develop a more stable and peaceful mental state. In essence, craving undermines mental stability by creating an endless loop of desire and dissatisfaction. By addressing the root cause of craving through Buddhist practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and ethical conduct, we can break free from this cycle and achieve a more balanced and resilient mind. In Buddhism, anger and hatred are considered two of the most destructive emotions that can plague the human mind. These emotions are often referred to as fires because they have the capacity to consume one's mental peace and clarity, leading to a state of profound mental weakness. When anger takes hold, it clouds judgment and distorts perception, making it difficult to see situations clearly or respond to them rationally. This emotional turbulence can lead to impulsive actions and words that one may later regret, causing harm not only to oneself, but also to others. Hatred, on the other hand, is a more deep-seated and enduring form of anger. It festers within the mind, creating a persistent state of negativity and ill will towards others. This prolonged state of animosity can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even physical health problems. From a Buddhist perspective, harboring hatred is akin to drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It ultimately harms the one who holds on to it more than anyone else. Moreover, anger and hatred obstruct the development of positive mental states such as compassion, loving-kindness, and equanimity. These negative emotions create barriers that prevent individuals from experiencing genuine happiness and inner peace. They also hinder spiritual progress by reinforcing the ego and perpetuating the cycle of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth driven by ignorance and desire. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of recognizing and transforming these destructive emotions through mindfulness and meditation practices. By cultivating awareness, individuals can observe the arising of anger and hatred within their minds without becoming entangled in them. This detachment allows for a more measured response, reducing the likelihood of harmful actions and promoting mental resilience. In summary, anger and hatred are significant obstacles to mental strength in Buddhism. They not only disrupt inner peace, but also impede spiritual growth and well-being. By understanding their consequences and employing mindfulness techniques to manage them, individuals can work towards overcoming these detrimental emotions and fostering a more balanced and compassionate mind. Envy and jealousy are powerful emotions that can significantly undermine mental strength and well-being. In Buddhism, these emotions are seen as poisons that cloud the mind and prevent one from experiencing true peace and happiness. Envy arises when we desire what others have, whether it be material possessions, status, or even personal qualities. Jealousy, on the other hand, often involves a fear of losing something we value to someone else. Both emotions stem from a sense of lack and insecurity, which can lead to a cycle of negative thoughts and behaviors. When we allow envy and jealousy to take root in our minds, we become consumed by comparison and competition. This constant measuring of ourselves against others creates a sense of dissatisfaction and inadequacy. Instead of appreciating what we have, we focus on what we lack, which only deepens our feelings of unhappiness. Moreover, these emotions can damage our relationships with others. Envy can lead to resentment and hostility towards those we perceive as more fortunate, while jealousy can breed mistrust and possessiveness in our interactions. Buddhism teaches that the antidote to envy and jealousy is the cultivation of mudita, or sympathetic joy. This practice involves taking genuine pleasure in the happiness and success of others. By shifting our focus from comparison to appreciation, we can transform these destructive emotions into positive ones. Practicing mudita helps us recognize that the happiness of others does not diminish our own. Rather, it can enhance our sense of connection and community. Another important aspect of overcoming envy and jealousy is developing a sense of contentment with what we have. This does not mean complacency or lack of ambition, but rather an acknowledgement that true happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. By practicing gratitude and focusing on our own growth and development, we can build a more stable foundation for mental strength. In summary, envy and jealousy are detrimental to mental well-being because they foster a mindset of scarcity and competition. By cultivating sympathetic joy and contentment, we can counteract these negative emotions and build a more resilient and peaceful mind. Through mindfulness and self-awareness, we can recognize when these feelings arise and take steps to transform them into opportunities for growth and connection. In Buddhism, laziness and procrastination are seen as significant obstacles to mental strength and spiritual development. These tendencies can be understood as manifestations of the kilesas, or mental defilements, which cloud our judgment and hinder our progress on the path to enlightenment. Laziness, or thinamita in Pali, is often described as a state of sluggishness or inertia that prevents one from engaging in wholesome activities. It is a form of mental dullness that saps energy and motivation, making it difficult to cultivate positive qualities such as mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Procrastination, on the other hand, is the act of delaying or postponing tasks that need to be done. It is closely related to laziness, but also involves an element of avoidance and fear. When we procrastinate, we often do so because we are afraid of failure, discomfort, or the effort required to complete a task. This avoidance behavior can lead to a cycle of guilt and anxiety, further weakening our mental resilience. The effects of laziness and procrastination are far-reaching. They not only impede our spiritual growth, but also affect our daily lives in practical ways. For instance, a person who habitually procrastinates may find themselves constantly stressed and overwhelmed by unfinished tasks. This chronic stress can lead to physical health problems such as headaches, insomnia, and weakened immune function. Moreover, the inability to complete tasks on time can result in missed opportunities and strained relationships. From a Buddhist perspective, overcoming laziness and procrastination requires a combination of mindfulness and right effort. Mindfulness helps us become aware of these tendencies as they arise, allowing us to address them before they take root. Right effort involves the diligent application of energy towards wholesome activities and the abandonment of unwholesome ones. By consistently practicing mindfulness and right effort, we can gradually weaken the hold that laziness and procrastination have on our minds. Additionally, setting clear intentions and goals can help counteract these tendencies. When we have a clear sense of purpose and direction, it becomes easier to stay motivated and focused. Engaging in regular meditation practice can also strengthen our mental discipline and resilience, making it easier to overcome inertia and avoidance. In summary, laziness and procrastination are significant barriers to mental strength in Buddhism. They sap our energy, cloud our judgment, and hinder our spiritual progress. By cultivating mindfulness, right effort, clear intentions, and regular meditation practice, we can overcome these obstacles and build a more resilient mind capable of achieving both worldly and spiritual goals. In Buddhism, mindfulness is considered a cornerstone for developing mental strength. Mindfulness, or sati in Pali, involves maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment. This practice is not merely about being present, but also about observing without judgment. When we cultivate mindfulness, we create a space between our experiences and our reactions to them. This space allows us to respond to situations with greater clarity and wisdom, rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness helps in recognizing the transient nature of our thoughts and emotions. By observing them as they arise and pass away, we begin to understand that they do not define us. This understanding reduces the power that negative thoughts and emotions have over us, thereby enhancing our mental resilience. For instance, when faced with stress or anxiety, a mindful approach allows us to see these feelings as temporary states rather than permanent conditions. This perspective shift can significantly diminish their impact on our mental well-being. Moreover, mindfulness fosters a deeper connection with the present moment. Often, mental weakness stems from dwelling on past regrets or worrying about future uncertainties. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we can break free from these cycles of rumination and anxiety. This presence of mind enables us to tackle challenges more effectively and make decisions with greater confidence and composure. Additionally, mindfulness enhances emotional regulation. By being aware of our emotional triggers and habitual responses, we can choose more constructive ways to handle difficult emotions. This self-awareness is crucial for maintaining emotional balance and preventing the escalation of negative feelings into more significant mental health issues. The practice of mindfulness also promotes compassion towards oneself and others. When we are mindful, we become more attuned to the suffering within ourselves and those around us. This heightened sensitivity encourages us to act with kindness and empathy, which further strengthens our mental fortitude by fostering positive relationships and a supportive community. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life can be achieved through various practices such as meditation, mindful breathing, and mindful walking. These practices train the mind to remain focused and calm amidst the chaos of everyday life. Over time, this consistent practice builds a robust mental foundation that can withstand life's inevitable ups and downs. In summary, mindfulness is an essential tool in building mental strength within the framework of Buddhism. It empowers individuals to live more fully in the present moment, manage their emotions effectively, and cultivate a compassionate outlook towards themselves and others. Through mindfulness, one can develop a resilient mind capable of navigating life's challenges with grace and equanimity. In Buddhism, cultivating compassion and loving kindness is fundamental to developing mental strength and resilience. Compassion, or karuna, involves recognizing the suffering of others and having a genuine desire to alleviate it. Loving kindness, or metta, is the practice of extending unconditional love and goodwill to all beings without any expectation of return. These qualities are not just lofty ideals, but practical tools that can transform our mental landscape. When we cultivate compassion, we shift our focus from self-centered concerns to the well-being of others. This outward focus helps to dissolve the barriers of ego and selfishness that often lead to mental weakness. By empathizing with others' suffering, we develop a sense of interconnectedness that strengthens our emotional resilience. Compassion allows us to face life's challenges with a balanced mind, as we are less likely to be overwhelmed by our own problems when we are attuned to the struggles of others. Loving kindness meditation is a powerful practice for nurturing these qualities. In this meditation, we begin by directing loving kindness towards ourselves, acknowledging that we too deserve happiness and peace. Gradually, we extend these feelings to loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and even those with whom we have conflicts. This practice helps to break down feelings of animosity and fosters a sense of universal love and acceptance. The benefits of cultivating compassion and loving kindness are manifold. These practices reduce negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, and hatred, which are significant contributors to mental weakness. Instead, they promote positive states of mind like joy, gratitude, and serenity. Scientific studies have shown that individuals who regularly practice compassion and loving kindness meditation experience lower levels of stress and anxiety, improved emotional regulation, and greater overall well-being. Moreover, compassion and loving kindness create a supportive community environment. When we act with kindness and empathy, we inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that enhances collective mental strength. This sense of community support can be particularly grounding during times of personal crisis or societal upheaval. In essence, cultivating compassion and loving kindness is not just about being kind to others. It is about fostering an inner strength that enables us to navigate life's difficulties with grace and equanimity. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, we build a robust mental foundation that supports both our own well-being and the well-being of those around us. In Buddhism, the practice of detachment and letting go is fundamental to overcoming mental weakness and achieving a state of inner peace and mental strength. Detachment does not mean a lack of care or indifference. Rather, it signifies a balanced approach to life, where one is not overly attached to material possessions, relationships, or even personal achievements. This practice is rooted in the understanding that clinging to transient things leads to suffering, as everything in life is impermanent. The Buddha taught that attachment is one of the primary causes of dukkha, or suffering. When we cling to things, we set ourselves up for disappointment because all conditioned phenomena are subject to change. By practicing detachment, we learn to appreciate things without becoming dependent on them for our happiness. This shift in perspective allows us to experience life more fully and with greater equanimity. Letting go involves releasing our grip on desires and expectations. It requires a deep understanding that holding on to these desires only creates mental turbulence and prevents us from experiencing true contentment. Letting go is an active process that involves mindfulness and self-awareness. Through meditation and reflective practices, we can observe our attachments and gradually loosen their hold on us. One effective method for practicing detachment is through mindfulness meditation. By observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can see how our attachments arise and how they affect our mental state. This awareness helps us to recognize the futility of clinging and encourages us to let go. Over time, this practice cultivates a sense of inner freedom and resilience. Another important aspect of letting go is forgiveness. Holding on to grudges and past hurts binds us to negative emotions and weakens our mental state. Forgiveness allows us to release these burdens and move forward with a lighter heart. It is an act of compassion towards ourselves as much as towards others. In addition to mindfulness and forgiveness, cultivating an attitude of gratitude can also aid in the practice of detachment. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This shift reduces our tendency to cling to desires and fosters a sense of contentment. Ultimately, practicing detachment and letting go leads to greater mental clarity and emotional stability. It frees us from the constant cycle of craving and aversion, allowing us to live more harmoniously with ourselves and others. As we let go of our attachments, we create space for wisdom and compassion to flourish, strengthening our minds and enriching our lives in profound ways. In Buddhism, the development of wisdom is intrinsically linked to the practice of meditation. Meditation serves as a powerful tool to cultivate insight and understanding, which are essential components of wisdom. Through meditation, practitioners learn to observe their thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment or aversion. This non-judgmental awareness allows individuals to see the true nature of reality, free from the distortions created by ignorance and delusion. One of the primary forms of meditation in Buddhism is vipassana, or insight meditation. This practice involves focusing on the breath or other bodily sensations while maintaining a state of mindful awareness. As meditators become more attuned to their inner experiences, they begin to notice the impermanent and interdependent nature of all phenomena. This realization helps dismantle the false sense of self and ego that often leads to mental suffering and weakness. Another important aspect of developing wisdom through meditation is the cultivation of samadhi, or concentrated focus. By training the mind to remain steady and undistracted, practitioners can penetrate deeper levels of consciousness and gain profound insights into the workings of their own minds. This heightened state of concentration enables them to discern subtle patterns and connections that are usually obscured by everyday distractions and mental clutter. Meditation also fosters a sense of equanimity, which is crucial for maintaining mental strength. Equanimity allows individuals to remain calm and balanced in the face of life's challenges and uncertainties. This balanced state of mind is not easily swayed by external circumstances, making it easier to respond with clarity and wisdom rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or desire. Furthermore, meditation encourages self-reflection and introspection, which are vital for personal growth and transformation. By regularly examining their thoughts and behaviors, practitioners can identify unwholesome habits and tendencies that contribute to mental weakness. With this awareness, they can make conscious efforts to cultivate positive qualities such as patience, generosity, and compassion. The practice of loving-kindness meditation, metta, also plays a significant role in developing wisdom. By intentionally generating feelings of goodwill towards oneself and others, meditators break down barriers of anger, hatred, and resentment. This practice not only enhances emotional resilience, but also fosters a deeper understanding of interconnectedness and empathy. In summary, developing wisdom through meditation involves a multifaceted approach that includes mindfulness, concentration, equanimity, self-reflection, and loving kindness. These practices work synergistically to dissolve ignorance and cultivate a clear, insightful understanding of reality. As wisdom grows, so does mental strength, enabling individuals to navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. In Buddhism, ethical conduct is considered a cornerstone for developing mental fortitude. Ethical conduct, or sila, forms the foundation of the Noble Eightfold Path and is essential for cultivating a mind that is resilient and strong. The practice of ethical conduct involves adhering to moral precepts that guide one's actions, speech, and livelihood. These precepts are not merely rules, but are principles that help create harmony within oneself and with others, thereby fostering a stable and peaceful mind. One of the primary aspects of ethical conduct is refraining from actions that cause harm to oneself or others. This includes abstaining from killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and intoxicants. By avoiding these harmful behaviors, individuals can prevent the mental agitation and guilt that often accompany unethical actions. When one lives in accordance with these precepts, the mind becomes less cluttered with remorse and more capable of focusing on positive and constructive thoughts. Ethical conduct also involves cultivating virtues such as honesty, generosity, patience, and kindness. These virtues contribute to mental strength by promoting a sense of inner peace and contentment. For instance, practicing generosity helps to reduce attachment and greed, which are significant sources of mental weakness. Similarly, patience allows one to endure difficulties without becoming overwhelmed by anger or frustration. Moreover, ethical conduct enhances one's relationships with others, creating an environment of trust and mutual respect. When individuals act ethically, they are more likely to build supportive and positive connections with those around them. These healthy relationships provide emotional support and stability, which are crucial for maintaining mental resilience. In addition to personal benefits, ethical conduct has a broader impact on society. A community where individuals adhere to ethical principles is likely to be more harmonious and less prone to conflict. This collective harmony further reinforces individual mental strength by reducing external sources of stress and anxiety. Ultimately, ethical conduct serves as a foundation for other aspects of Buddhist practice, such as mindfulness and meditation. A mind that is free from the turmoil caused by unethical behavior is better equipped to engage in deep meditation and attain higher states of awareness. Thus, ethical conduct not only supports mental fortitude, but also paves the way for spiritual growth and enlightenment. In conclusion, ethical conduct plays a vital role in developing mental fortitude in Buddhism. By adhering to moral precepts and cultivating virtues, individuals can create a stable and peaceful mind capable of facing life's challenges with resilience and strength. Ethical conduct not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to a harmonious society, further reinforcing mental well-being. The Eightfold Path, a core teaching in Buddhism, offers a comprehensive framework for overcoming mental weakness and cultivating mental strength. This path is divided into 8 interconnected practices that guide individuals toward ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom. By diligently following these steps, one can develop resilience and inner fortitude. Right understanding is the first step, emphasizing the importance of seeing things as they truly are. This involves understanding the Four Noble Truths and recognizing the nature of suffering, its causes, and the path to its cessation. By gaining this insight, one can begin to dismantle ignorance, which is a significant source of mental weakness. Right intention follows, encouraging individuals to cultivate thoughts of renunciation, goodwill, and harmlessness. This step helps in purifying the mind from negative intentions such as greed, hatred, and delusion. By fostering positive intentions, one builds a strong foundation for mental resilience. Right speech focuses on ethical communication. It involves abstaining from lying, divisive speech, harsh words, and idle chatter. Practicing right speech helps in creating harmonious relationships and a peaceful mind, free from the turmoil caused by harmful words. Right action emphasizes ethical conduct through actions that do not harm others. This includes refraining from killing, stealing, and engaging in sexual misconduct. By adhering to right action, one cultivates a sense of integrity and moral strength. Right livelihood encourages earning a living in a way that does not cause harm or suffering to others. This principle promotes ethical work practices and helps in maintaining a clear conscience, which is essential for mental well-being. Right effort involves cultivating positive states of mind while preventing and abandoning negative ones. It requires diligence and perseverance in developing wholesome qualities such as compassion, patience, and mindfulness. Consistent effort in this regard strengthens mental fortitude. Right mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware in each moment. It involves observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment or aversion. Mindfulness helps in maintaining mental clarity and stability by preventing the mind from being overwhelmed by distractions or negative emotions. Right concentration refers to developing deep states of meditative absorption or jhanas. Through focused meditation practice, one can achieve profound levels of mental tranquility and insight. This concentration enhances mental strength by allowing the mind to remain undisturbed by external circumstances. By integrating these 8 practices into daily life, individuals can systematically overcome mental weaknesses such as ignorance, attachment, craving, anger, envy, laziness, and procrastination. The Eightfold Path provides a holistic approach to developing mental resilience and achieving a balanced state of mind. Through continuous practice and commitment to these principles, one can attain lasting inner peace and strength. In the rich tapestry of Buddhist teachings, numerous real-life examples and stories illustrate the principles of mental strength and the pitfalls of mental weakness. One such story is that of Angulimala, a notorious bandit who had killed many people. Despite his violent past, he encountered the Buddha, who showed him compassion and wisdom. Angulimala's transformation from a feared criminal to a devoted monk exemplifies how mental weakness, driven by ignorance and hatred, can be overcome through mindfulness, ethical conduct, and the guidance of a wise teacher. Another poignant example is the story of Kisa Gotami, a woman devastated by the death of her only child. In her grief, she sought help from the Buddha, who instructed her to find a mustard seed from a household that had not experienced death. Her search revealed to her the universality of suffering and loss. This realization helped her let go of her attachment and grief, illustrating how understanding and acceptance can transform mental weakness into strength. The tale of Prince Siddhartha himself is perhaps the most profound example. Born into luxury, he was shielded from the realities of suffering. However, upon encountering old age, sickness, and death, he realized the impermanence of worldly pleasures. His renunciation of princely life to seek enlightenment underscores the importance of detachment and wisdom in overcoming mental weaknesses such as ignorance and craving. The story of Patachara also serves as a powerful lesson. After losing her entire family in a series of tragic events, she was consumed by madness and despair. The Buddha's teachings helped her understand the nature of suffering and impermanence, leading her to attain enlightenment. Her journey from profound mental anguish to spiritual awakening highlights the transformative power of mindfulness and insight. These stories are not just historical accounts, but timeless lessons that resonate with contemporary struggles. They demonstrate that mental weakness is not an insurmountable barrier, but a challenge that can be met with the right mindset and practices. By embracing mindfulness, ethical conduct, compassion, and wisdom, individuals can cultivate mental strength and resilience in their own lives. Strengthening the mind is a fundamental aspect of Buddhist practice, and there are several practical tips that can help individuals cultivate mental resilience and fortitude. One of the most effective methods is the practice of mindfulness. By being fully present in each moment, individuals can develop greater awareness of their thoughts and emotions, allowing them to respond to situations with clarity and calmness, rather than reacting impulsively. Regular meditation is another powerful tool for building mental strength. Through meditation, one can train the mind to focus, reduce stress, and gain insight into the nature of reality. Another important tip is to cultivate positive mental states, such as compassion and loving kindness. These qualities not only enhance personal well-being, but also foster a sense of connection with others, reducing feelings of isolation and negativity. Practicing gratitude can also significantly impact mental strength. By regularly reflecting on the positive aspects of life, individuals can shift their focus away from what they lack and appreciate what they have, fostering a more optimistic outlook. Engaging in ethical conduct is another crucial aspect of strengthening the mind. By adhering to principles such as honesty, non-harming, and generosity, individuals create a foundation of trust and integrity that supports mental stability. Additionally, letting go of attachments and practicing detachment can free the mind from unnecessary burdens. This does not mean renouncing all possessions or relationships, but rather developing a healthy relationship with them where one's happiness is not dependent on external factors. Physical exercise and maintaining a healthy lifestyle also play a significant role in mental well-being. Regular physical activity can reduce stress, improve mood, and increase overall energy levels, all of which contribute to a stronger mind. Finally, seeking guidance from experienced teachers or joining a supportive community can provide valuable insights and encouragement on the path to mental strength. By integrating these practical tips into daily life, individuals can gradually build a resilient and balanced mind capable of facing life's challenges with equanimity and wisdom. In conclusion, the journey to overcoming mental weakness and cultivating mental strength is deeply rooted in the teachings of Buddhism. By understanding the nature of mental weakness, we can identify the detrimental effects of attachment, ignorance, craving, anger, hatred, envy, jealousy, laziness, and procrastination. These negative states of mind not only hinder our spiritual growth, but also prevent us from achieving true inner peace and resilience. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in this transformative process. By being fully present and aware of our thoughts and actions, we can begin to dismantle the patterns that contribute to mental weakness. Cultivating compassion and loving kindness towards ourselves and others further strengthens our mental fortitude, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. Practicing detachment and letting go of our attachments frees us from the chains that bind us to suffering. Through meditation, we develop wisdom and insight into the true nature of reality, enabling us to make more informed and conscious choices. Ethical conduct serves as the foundation for mental strength, guiding our actions in ways that promote harmony and well-being. The Eightfold Path offers a comprehensive framework for overcoming mental weakness. By integrating right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration into our daily lives, we can cultivate a balanced and resilient mind. Real-life examples and stories from Buddhist teachings illustrate the transformative power of these practices. They remind us that mental strength is not an unattainable ideal, but a practical goal that can be achieved through consistent effort and dedication. To strengthen the mind, it is essential to incorporate practical tips, such as setting realistic goals, maintaining a regular meditation practice, seeking support from a community of like-minded individuals, and continuously reflecting on our progress. By doing so, we can gradually build the mental resilience needed to face life's inevitable ups and downs. Ultimately, the path to mental strength is a lifelong journey. It requires patience, perseverance, and a deep commitment to personal growth. By embracing the teachings of Buddhism and applying them in our daily lives, we can overcome mental weakness and cultivate a mind that is strong, peaceful, and capable of facing any challenge with unwavering confidence. To keep expanding your spiritual awareness, click one of the videos on screen now.